Would you eat meat that's been buried underground for months, rotting until it smells like strong cheese and ammonia? For the Inuit, this isn't just something they do to survive. It's a long-standing tradition. While most people would throw away spoiled meat, the Inuit have mastered the process of fermentation, turning walrus, seal, and even birds into meals that are not only edible, but highly valued. Take iguanak, for example. This is walrus meat that has been left underground for months, softening and breaking down until it's ready to eat. It may sound unappetizing, but for the Inuit, it's a prized food full of nutrients. Then there's kiviak, a dish made by stuffing hundreds of small birds into a seal skin and letting them ferment until they turn into a strong, paste-like meal. To outsiders, these foods might seem like a quick way to get food poisoning, but the Inuit have been doing this for centuries, passing down careful methods to make sure the food is safe. So, how do they do it? Why do they still eat these foods today? And what risks come with eating meat that's been left to rot? Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and leave a comment below. Would you try fermented meat? For many Inuit communities, iguanak is a treasured dish that has been passed down through generations. It is made by burying large cuts of walrus, seal, or even caribou underground and leaving them to ferment for months. During this time, natural bacteria break down the meat, softening it and intensifying its flavor. Once ready, iguanak is sliced and eaten raw, often during winter when fresh food is scarce. The process of making iguanak is precise. If done incorrectly, the meat can become dangerous to eat, causing severe illness. But experienced hunters know the right techniques, choosing the perfect spot to bury the meat, ensuring the temperature stays just right, and recognizing the ideal moment to dig it up. When prepared properly, iguanak is considered a delicacy, packed with protein and fat, essential for surviving the Arctic's brutal cold. To those unfamiliar with it, iguanak may sound like spoiled meat, but to the Inuit, it's a valuable food source that has sustained them for centuries. Its rich, strong flavor and high nutritional content make it a staple during long, harsh winters when hunting can be difficult. While iguanak might sound unusual, kiviak takes things a step further. This traditional dish is made by stuffing up to 500 small seabirds, usually auks, into a hollowed-out seal skin. The birds are placed inside whole, feathers and all, then sealed up with fat to keep out air. The seal skin is then buried under rocks, where the birds ferment for several months. By the time kiviak is ready, the birds have broken down into a soft, pungent paste. To eat it, Inuit people simply pull a bird out of the seal skin, bite off its head, and suck out the rich, fermented insides. While this might sound extreme, kiviak is considered a special treat, often saved for celebrations or long winters when fresh food is hard to find. The fermentation process preserves the birds and enhances their nutrients, making kiviak a valuable food source. However, making it safely requires skill. If air gets inside the seal skin, the entire batch can spoil and become dangerous. But for those who know the tradition, kiviak is a highly prized Arctic delicacy. Fermented meats like iguanak and kiviak aren't just traditions, they're survival foods. The Arctic is one of the most extreme environments on Earth, where fresh fruits and vegetables don't grow, and hunting can be unpredictable. The Inuit have adapted by developing food preservation techniques that ensure they get the nutrients they need year-round. These fermented meats are high in fat and protein, providing the energy needed to withstand freezing temperatures. Iguanak, for example, is rich in omega-3 fatty acids, which help keep the heart healthy and reduce inflammation. Meanwhile, kiviak is packed with vitamins from the seabirds, especially vitamin C, which helps prevent scurvy, a serious risk for people who don't have access to fresh produce. Unlike modern processed foods, these traditional dishes are completely natural and require no preservatives. The fermentation process helps break down the meat, making it easier to digest and allowing the body to absorb its nutrients more efficiently. In a land where survival depends on maximizing every calorie, these foods have played a crucial role in Inuit health for centuries. Fermented foods aren't just important for survival, they also offer health benefits that modern science is only beginning to understand. Around the world, people eat fermented foods like yogurt, kimchi, and sauerkraut because they are good for digestion, and the same goes for Inuit fermented meats. During fermentation, good bacteria break down the meat and produce natural probiotics. These probiotics help balance gut bacteria, improving digestion and overall health. In fact, studies suggest that traditional Inuit diets, including fermented foods, contribute to a strong immune system and better gut health. Additionally, fermentation helps reduce harmful bacteria in meat, preserving it without refrigeration. This natural process allows the Inuit to store large amounts of food for months at a time, making it easier to survive long winters when hunting is scarce. Of course, the process must be done carefully. If the fermentation goes wrong, dangerous bacteria can grow instead. But when prepared correctly, these foods are not only safe, but also beneficial to health. This is why, despite modern alternatives, many Inuit continue to include iguanak and kiviak in their diet today. As fascinating as fermented meat may be, it comes with serious risks, the biggest being botulism. Botulism is a deadly illness caused by bacteria that thrive in low-oxygen environments, like buried meat. If the fermentation process goes wrong, these bacteria can multiply, producing toxins that cause paralysis and even death. Unfortunately, botulism outbreaks have occurred in some Inuit communities, often when traditional methods aren't followed correctly. For example, modern plastic containers have sometimes been used instead of natural materials like sealskin or underground pits. While plastic might seem more convenient, it can trap air and moisture, creating the perfect environment for dangerous bacteria to grow. The Inuit have developed ways to recognize when fermented meat has gone bad. Signs include a bad smell, slimy texture, or an unnatural color. Elders and experienced hunters pass down this knowledge, ensuring younger generations know how to handle these foods safely. Despite the risks, many Inuit continue to eat iguanak and kiviak because they understand how to prepare it properly. When done right, the traditional methods make the food not only safe, but also nutritious. In recent years, Inuit communities have worked to balance tradition with modern food safety. While fermented meats are still an important part of their diet, many people now take extra precautions to reduce the risks. For example, some Inuit have started using temperature-controlled storage to ferment meat more safely, ensuring that it remains at the right conditions to prevent spoilage. Others have switched from burying meat underground to using traditional stone caches, which offer better air circulation and reduce the chance of botulism. Additionally, health officials in Arctic communities educate people about botulism and food safety, helping them recognize unsafe practices. Some Inuit families choose to enjoy fermented foods in moderation, mixing them with modern grocery store items to balance tradition with convenience. Despite these changes, iguanak and kiviak remain important cultural foods. For many Inuit, eating these fermented meats isn't just about survival. It's about honoring their ancestors, preserving their traditions, and staying connected to their land. As long as these traditions are carefully maintained, they will continue to be an important part of Inuit life for generations to come. For those unfamiliar with Inuit cuisine, tasting fermented meat for the first time can be an intense experience. Many outsiders who try iguanak or kiviak describe the flavor as overpowering, pungent, and unlike anything they've ever eaten before. The strong smell, often compared to very aged cheese, ammonia, or even decay, can be a major shock to the senses. Travelers and food explorers who have been invited to try these traditional dishes often struggle with the first bite. Some describe iguanak as rich, buttery, and incredibly tender, while others find it too strong to handle. Kiviak, with its fully fermented bird paste, is even more of a challenge. The texture is soft and creamy, but the intense, fishy, gamey aroma can be overwhelming for those not used to it. Despite the shock factor, many food enthusiasts admire the Inuits' ability to preserve and enjoy food in such extreme conditions. While some outsiders struggle with the taste, others develop a deep appreciation for the tradition behind it. Love it or hate it, Inuit fermented meat is a fascinating example of how different cultures find ways to survive and thrive in their environments. For most people, the idea of eating meat that has been rotting for months is hard to stomach. But for the Inuit, fermented foods like iguanak and kiviak are not only a way to survive in the Arctic, they are a deep-rooted tradition. These dishes provide essential nutrients in an environment where fresh food is scarce and represent centuries of knowledge passed down through generations. While these foods might seem risky, the Inuit have developed careful techniques to ensure they are safe to eat. They know the right conditions for fermentation, how to recognize spoilage, and the importance of keeping their methods as close to tradition as possible to avoid dangers like botulism. Even today, as modern food options become more available, many Inuit continue to eat fermented meat, not just for its nutritional value, but to honor their ancestors and maintain their cultural identity. It's a reminder of their resilience, their deep connection to the land, and the remarkable ways they have adapted to one of the harshest environments on Earth. While it may seem strange to outsiders, fermented meat remains a powerful symbol of Inuit survival and tradition, a practice that has stood the test of time. So what do you think? Would you ever try fermented meat, or does the thought of it turn your stomach? Let us know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive into Inuit traditions, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss our next fascinating story.